Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about changing tires today. I went ahead and took a picture of one of my tires, and the thing that we're going to be looking at here is the index given on the tire that helps us calculate some information about these tires. So your basic picture of a tire, here's the concept we're looking at today. You've just purchased a new vehicle equipped with factory installed P245 75R16 tires. You think these tires look too small, so you replace them with P285 75R16 tires. How does this change in tire size affect the accuracy of speedometer and odometer readings? Specifically, your goal is to complete the following statements. If your odometer reading is 20,000, you have actually traveled how many miles per hour? If your speedometer reading is 60, your actual speed is how many miles per hour? So let's take a look at tires real quick, just so we know what we're looking at. We're going to be looking at this index here, and the P stands for passenger tire. The 215 stands for the width of the tire in millimeters. That's important. The 65 here represents the ratio of the height to width. It's actually given as a percentage. R stands for radial, and the 15 here is the rim diameter. Again, it's given to you right here. And again, 70 is a percent of height to width. Now, taking a look at the actual tire, we should notice that the tire height counts twice and the rim diameter counts once to get the entire diameter of the tire. And then the width is the part of the tire that actually touches the ground. So here, we're going to try to fill in this chart based on the information we just learned. Notice here we have millimeters and then inches. It's important to note that there are 25.4 millimeters in 1 inch. You're going to need that conversion factor later on. So the width is the first number given. It's 245 millimeters for the first tire and 285 millimeters for the second tire. The aspect ratio is given second. It's the number 70% in the first one and 75 in the second one. When you're calculating the tire height, this is where you're going to have to convert to inches. So we're going to take the width times the percentage and then divide that by 25.4. So when we do that, we're going to get 6.75 inches for this first tire, and then we'll get 8.42 inches for the second tire. And then to find the diameter, we go back to the graphic earlier and we see the tire height counts twice and the rim diameter counts 1 time. So this formula for diameter is the rim plus 2 times the height. When we calculate those numbers, we get 29.5 inches for the diameter of the first tire and 32.8 for the diameter of the second tire. And then the last thing we're looking for is circumference. We have diameter times pi. So all we do is put the diameter times pi in our calculator, and we're going to get 92.7 inches for the circumference of the first tire and then 103 inches for the circumference of the second tire. So we're going to use this information to answer a couple questions. After 1 rotation of the wheel, how many inches further has the truck with the larger tires traveled than the truck with the factory installed? Well, further here indicates that we're going to probably subtract. So 103 minus 92.7 is going to equal 10.3 inches. And then after 1 rotation, the truck with the larger tires has traveled how many times further? Now times means we're going to find a number that when we multiply, we can get either of the other 2 numbers. So 103 divided by 92.7, because it asks for the larger tire compared to the smaller tire. So the larger tires come first, and that's going to be approximately 1.11 times further. So the couple questions that we're going to answer If the odometer reading is 20,000, if the speedometer reading is 60, what's your actual miles traveled and your actual speed? So if you look down here, it shows you what K is, and it shows you how to do each of these things. Well, I'm going to put a little bit of a spin on this because I'm Coach Buchanan, and that's how I roll. So we're not going to take the circumference of the bigger tire. We're going to take the circumference of the new tire, because sometimes your tire might be a little smaller than the tire the factory puts on the car. But you can also use the diameter of the new tire compared to the diameter of the original. You don't have to go with circumference unless the questions are asking you to get circumference, because diameter divided by diameter is the same ratio as circumference divided by circumference. So what we did earlier, we did 103 divided by 92.7, and we got approximately 1.11, and that is K. That is our K, our constant of proportionality. So to find the odometer reading, we have got to do 20,000 times 1.11, and that's going to give us 22,200 miles. And then we're going to take our speed of 60 miles per hour times 1.11, and that's going 66.6 miles per hour. So our two questions that we're asking, actual speed versus actual mileage, K times the readings, we're actually traveled 22,200 miles instead of 20,000. We've actually traveled 66.6 miles per hour than 60 miles per hour. So we're going to use this odometer readings, and we've determined that our gas mileage is 18 miles per gallon. What do you think your actual gas mileage per gallon might be? Well, I'm going to propose that we take the gas mileage that we calculated and then multiply by our K, constant of proportionality of 1.11, to get our actual gas mileage. And when we do this, we get 19.98 miles per gallon, which is approximately 20 miles per gallon. So putting the bigger tires on actually gave us better gas mileage. And then if you're driving a truck, the larger tire speedometer shows 65 miles per hour. Could you be ticketed for exceeding the 65 mile per hour speed limit by more than 5 or by more than 10? So here there's two questions, and your justification is, well, you're traveling 65 times 1.11, and you get approximately 72.15 miles per hour. So yes, you can be ticketed for going more than 5 miles per hour. That's a yes, but you cannot be ticketed for going more than 10, because 65 away from 72.15 is less than 10, but it's more than 5. So here that 7.15 over the speed limit is more than 5 miles per hour, but less than 10. Here, just another little bit of an extension. We have a motorcycle that we've changed tires. We had a 25-inch tire, and we've changed it to a 30-inch tire. I didn't realize that this is going to affect my speedometer and odometer, so I didn't recalibrate them after changing the wheels. So first, to find our actual distance and our actual speed, we have got to find K, which is the new tire of 30 divided by the original of 25. So we find that that is equal to 1.2, and our actual miles that we've traveled is 1,200 times 1.2, and our actual speed is 60 times 1.2. Our actual miles is 1,440, and our actual speed is 72 miles per hour. So now we have just a little bit more, the exact same basic thing. We're going to start with two tires, a little bit different numbers. We have a P225/75 R15, and we modified it to P305/30 R26. So the diameter of the original tires are the 225/75 R15. So that's 225 times 0.75 divided by 25.4, And then that's going to give us our tire height. That tire height is 6.64. We're going to multiply that by 2 and then add the rim diameter of 15. That gives our diameter to be approximately 28.3 inches. We do the same thing on the low profile 26-inch rim tires, and that's 305 times 0.30, and then we're going to divide by 25.4, and that gives us 3.60, and then we take 3.6 times 2 and add to it the 26, which is the rim diameter, and that gives us approximately 33.2 for the diameter of the new tire. So we have this information. Again, we have to find K, and remember I told you K could be circumference of the new divided by circumference of the old, or diameter of the new divided by diameter of the old. So 33.2 divided by 28.3 is going to give us approximately 1.17 for our constant of proportionality. And then our actual speed whenever we're traveling 60 miles per hour is 1.17 times 60, which is approximately 70.2 miles per hour. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is changing tires and the math associated with how changing your tires affects the readings in your car.